What's up, everybody? On a podcast now. Plus, I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about Scarlet Nexus and how it's confirmed now to be coming to basically all the other consoles, PS4, PS5, and also Steam. So, as of 2 days ago, when this game was first announced, it was only talked about as an Xbox thing, right? Xbox One, Xbox Scarlet. Those were the ones confirmed, and those were the ones pushed. Now, really, honestly, there's a lot of confusion with a lot of the games that Microsoft did in that because, remember, a lot of those were third-party studios. In fact, the entire event was touted as this is our third-party showing of gameplay, and, we got like 6 seconds of Madden, 2.5 seconds of Assassin's Creed, all these ridiculous numbers. We got all these things, and, once it kind of all started coming out, obviously they were all talked about for Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and that's to be expected, right? Because when you have these conferences, it happens with Sony too. I'm not saying like, oh, only Microsoft does this. It happens with Sony too. If Sony or even Nintendo sometimes, Nintendo is a little bit more rare because mainly they focus on their own stuff. When it happens with Sony, they'll get announced. They'll say it's coming on PS4. I guess over the past couple of years it said PS4, right? And then later on in that day, or maybe the next day, or sometime that week, the company announces, hey, it's also coming to Xbox One. Like, it's not just PlayStation. With some of these games, though, it's a little less certain. Like the game, The Medium, the game we talked about yesterday, that I'm really liking. Like, I love the look of that game. That game was talked about and still is, as I believe, only an Xbox exclusive. I think Scorn is also another one. The Ascent is one that's kind of iffy. There's a couple ones that are like in that iffy category that the companies haven't really addressed yet, at least when I'm recording this. I'm recording this yesterday, your guys' time, or on Friday. So Scarlet Nexus, let's talk a little bit about this game. I'll be honest with you guys. In the videos I've made over the past couple days talking about Inside Xbox, I didn't know the name of this game, so I couldn't talk about how much I loved it, which is kind of, maybe a little pathetic, right? I love this game so much. I like visually. Obviously, I haven't been able to play it, but I love everything we saw from this game at Inside Xbox, but I forgot the name to it. But really, if I were to rank the games we saw, and I have said that, The Medium is that game that stands out. This game, Scarlet Nexus, looks incredible. I really like it. Now, different games are being thrown around as comparisons for this game. I really, like, when I see it visually, I just think of Nier Automata. If I'm not saying that right, I'm terribly sorry. But that's what I see in this game. I really like what this game looks like. And I've talked about it. A lot of these videos or a lot of these games that we saw, I'm primarily a PlayStation gamer, right? I primarily play PlayStation, but I also have an Xbox One. And while I'm not getting a Series X day one, I actually would consider getting it, over the next year or two. But all the games come out on Xbox One anyway. So I'm pretty safe for these games, which is good. It is a luxury, I guess you could say, of having these consoles, right? Having more than just one of them, so you can experience these games that are exclusive on other ones. And ultimately, that's the reason why you buy. Now, would I buy the Xbox Series X, or would I buy an Xbox One for the Medium? No, not necessarily. But this is good news. This is good news, I guess, personally for me, in terms of this video perspective, in terms of like news. Anybody, right, that didn't have an Xbox console, maybe you guys were a little unsure about this game, but this game has been confirmed. It's basically coming to everything except Nintendo Switch, which, you know what, this game I think would work really well on the Nintendo Switch, so I hope one day that ends up happening. But that's good news. And also the game visually, again, how I've talked about, like, it looks absolutely incredible. Coming to next gen. It comes out on PS4, comes out on Xbox One, but also is on the next generation consoles. So I'm going to assume it's going to look very good on the Series X and PS5. This is, again, another example of a game in that conference that looked, and everything about it, by the way, is really good. It looks really good, and it goes back to what I was saying about Inside Xbox, where I know a lot of people are, very upset, and I know we talked about that in past videos, and people said, hey, look at the live chat. People were pretty upset there. Jeff Keighley did like a poll asking what would people rate the conference of Inside Xbox, and people are going very bad scores. Or they're going like C's. I voted C myself. A lot of people are voting D or lower, so D or F. And again, I completely get it. This is an example of a game that looked really awesome, and I really liked games like this, The Medium, The Ascent, that first game, the one that was made by one guy. Those games, though, they're all really cool. It's just just not what we were expecting going into the conference. But as I've said, like, it's not just because we didn't expect it doesn't mean we can't say, hey, these things were cool. The conference, I'd say overall, was fine. It was, I would even maybe in a way say it was good. It was just, I think something can be good but disappointing. The conference was good because a lot of these games, including Scarlet Nexus, look incredible, look really, really fun. Yeah, they're smaller. They're not going to blow the doors off of anything, right? But you know what? Again, as I've said numerous times, sometimes games like this, sometimes these are the games that really can impact somebody, or, you know, they sneak up and they win Game of the Year awards, which again are kind of like more political kind of stuff. But in terms of like just making an impact on people, sometimes games that are just smaller can do that. Games like The Medium, Scorn, The Ascent, all these games, they can do that, right? They don't have to be the biggest games in the world. I just think, again, we all set our expectations way too high, and it's not our fault. Microsoft did it for us. They're the ones who told us what to basically expect from the conference, and then they didn't do it. So it's not our fault. I'm not blaming us. But Scarlet Nexus, I'd say probably after The Medium. The Medium, I really can't explain it, but it really stuck out to me. It's my favorite of all of the things we saw at that Inside Xbox. Scarlet Nexus is my number 2. It's absolutely my number 2. When I saw as soon as I saw like the first couple of visuals, the first couple scenes of this game, I knew that it was like, okay, well, I'm probably signing up for this immediately because it's weird, it's wacky, right? It's very, very different. It's got that really cool art style. It's got gameplay that looks really, really fantastic. I truly am. I'm very excited to be able to play this game, and hopefully that means that it's coming out this fall. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to. It could be a game that comes out next year. We'll have to see. No matter what happens, whenever it comes out, I'll definitely be covering it here or on podcast now. So if you guys like this game, if you guys like my content, we'll definitely be continuing it up over the coming months and possibly years, depending on how long it takes. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about Scarlet Nexus? What do you think about the other games at Inside Xbox? Let me know. Make sure, as always, you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys on tomorrow's video.